Meteorologist Danielle Noyes here for the 1 Degree Outside Weather Network. Matt is out and about working hard, meeting with clients, prepping as we lead into the winter season. This is your pattern predictions, a look at the next 2 weeks of weather. And you can find the 14-day forecast right in our free weather app. It is the only weather app you're going to need. We have thousands of 5-star reviews. Give it a download. Let us know what you think. Search 1 Degree Outside Weather in the App Store and Google Play. Now, you can tap to watch the stream, too, at the top of our app. Weather, literally anytime, anywhere. 1degreeoutside.live. On your smart TV, you can open up the YouTube app and search 1 Degree Outside Weather. All right, let's start with the height to 500 millibars. The purples here indicating a colder layer of the atmosphere, and the oranges and the reds warmer. What's on the map? A lot of purple, a lot of cold air. It's a sign of the transitioning seasons right here. We're into November now. There's a lot that's bottled up near Siberia and also into northern Greenland and central Canada. Watch what happens here as we head through this week. We get a little cold snap that comes into the northeast on Thursday. A lot of the warmth that was in place the last week or two across a lot of the country does get suppressed a little bit to the south. So in terms of record-breaking highs, maybe 1 or 2 from the desert southwest to southern Texas. That's about it. Then watch what happens for the start of next week, 10th and 11th into Veterans Day. We get this big dip with cold air streaming down to a lot of the eastern 2/3 of the country. Then it eases somewhat as we head into the end of the period. Still a lot of cold air coming into Alaska and then diving into the Pacific Northwest that will eventually come into the southwestern United States towards the middle part of the month and then spread east. So what does that mean for the jet stream? Well, over the coming week, it's pretty zonal, and we talked about this. That essentially means it's a flow from west to east, and that's a faster flow with these little weaker disturbances rippling along the jet stream, one that comes into New England as we head into Wednesday and early Thursday, another one that comes in Friday night into early Saturday, and then another one as we head into the day on Sunday. There is that dip that comes in. So what does that mean for us? Well, a cold snap that comes in for Monday and Tuesday of next week, including the overnights. And we'll take a look at the temperatures in a second. And then as we head towards Veterans Day and the end of next week, so let's say like the 15th, 16th into that weekend, you do notice more ridges and troughs developing, less of a zonal flow. So potential here for more storminess, but the axis of the trough or that dip in the jet stream is off to our west. So in general, could be a quieter week of weather with not a whole lot of precipitation here in the northeast, aside from maybe some showers here or there. So what does that mean for precipitation chances? This is a New England-wide average over the next 2 weeks. And you notice that this week there are several days where it's elevated. It does come down to timing, right? So a lot of showers Wednesday night, drops on Thursday. Friday, 80%, but that's generally late in the day and at night. And that does come down somewhat on Saturday, but still 50%. I do think early on Saturday, we may have some lingering wet weather, and then we dry out. But then 80% on Sunday as the next disturbance comes in, then that drops back down. Next week, generally quieter overall with an elevated chance, like 30 to 40% chance during the middle part of the week. So the 12th and 13th that we may see some showers with a quick moving disturbance coming in. In terms of precipitation amounts and across the country, we've got a big bullseye here in the Pacific Northwest, Seattle, Portland, back down into the coastline of Northern California. And then otherwise, a lot of the country is generally quiet. From the Great Lakes to New England, yes, we get a little bullseyes here coming off of the Great Lakes. And then down towards the Carolinas may get a little bit more right along the immediate coastline. Again, a lot of it falls for us this week and will be generally slightly below average in terms of precipitation amounts over the coming 2 weeks. Snowfall, though, we're adding more to the map, particularly from Western Canada back down into the Intermountain West. And then you do notice from Eastern Canada back up near St. James Bay and down into Quebec and Montreal, and yes, here in New England. And we highlighted that in Insights. We're going to add some accumulation of snow here to the mountains that may extend down into the Appalachians as we head towards the end of the period here. So certainly turning more snowy. Surface weather forecast, there's still some warmth to be had. Again, I talked about the southern tier of the United States, not as warm as we've been. And then as we head into the start of next week, look at all the blue on the map, all the way back down to the Gulf. So there will be this cold snap, relatively speaking, that comes in Monday, Tuesday, the 10th into the 11th, and then gradually eases with some warmth building back into the central and southern United States towards the 14th and 15th, the middle part of the month. But where are we? Still relatively cool. And then also another snap of cold air that comes in to the West Coast and the Intermountain West with some really chilly air heading towards the 18th and 19th. So for us here in New England, it's generally seasonable. We get that little cool snap on Thursday, back up Saturday, ahead of that next disturbance that comes in, and then there's the cool air. So this is a New England-wide average for Monday and Tuesday. Highs only in the lower 40s or right near there. That may actually be a little bit generous on Wednesday of 45, but you notice cooler than average temperatures right on through most of next week, and then a little moderation back to near seasonable levels as we head into the weekend, and particularly the 16th and 17th. Similarly, the overnight lows will fluctuate a bit too. Fairly seasonable the next several days. Then a cold snap comes in Thursday night into Friday, only in the upper 20s for a New England-wide average. Mild overnight Friday night into Saturday with that dose of rain and maybe some snow in the mountains that comes in. And then you notice we do dip back down. There's that cold air, particularly Monday night into Tuesday, Tuesday night into Wednesday, and then at or below average with many readings topping out around freezing and then moderating a bit towards the end of the period. You can, of course, track it all in our app. And if you like this content and you want more and want to help support our mission, we have 4 membership levels, over 600 members now. We'd love to make it to 700. You can help us do it. Membership.onedegreeoutside.com for the info on each of these levels and how to sign up as well.